And we're in the winners match. Welcome to a final best of 3 series for one of these teams because, well, the winner of this match goes straight to the bracket phase. So guys, once again, this is the Underdog Cup, hosted by myself and also in cooperation with HeroesLounge. Big shout out to them. Whole thing of this tournament is to make a small tournament that is designed for teams that you would normally not see in big prize money tournaments. So this is targeting teams that are in Division 2 and Division 3 of HeroesLounge. If you don't know HeroesLounge, it's the biggest amateur scene in the game, and you should definitely check them out. HeroesLounge.gg is the website, so if you haven't heard of them yet, go there. Have a look. You can sign up as an individual player, you can sign up as a team, it just depends on you. And teams that are eligible for this tournament have to be either in Division 2 or Division 3. All of these teams are obviously long-standing with the league, so it's not like somebody can all of a sudden get themselves like 1 or 2 ringers in that are playing on a much higher level. But players here are general between like high diamond, masters, around those. Now obviously it's just a bit of an average of this. But the whole idea is to just support the grassroots a little bit more, you know, give an incentive to players that don't see themselves casted all that often, that might have a bit of anxiety signing up for a huge tournament where you have the big names playing. And it's actually kind of fun because it's a little bit more relatable. There's a few mistakes that happen there that everyone can see from their own games too, and it's just kind of enjoyable. We have one rule for the draft, and that is that every single hero can only be played once within a series, so once played, the heroes cannot be picked again, meaning every single hero that you see on the first map cannot be played on the second one, and so on and so forth. But let's see what's gonna happen. The KD Agents played a nearly flawless series against their first round opponent. Surge Energy also with some big moves, and now whichever team wins here makes it into the next phase, wins the group. The loser still has a chance in the consolation match to make it out of the group as second place. In total we have 8 teams. We had way more that signed up. It was actually pretty amazing because this is a bit of a test balloon as well. I wasn't quite sure how much enthusiasm there will be in the amateur scene for a tournament like this. So we said, okay, we're going to have 8 teams. We're going to try and get 8. And we had way more sign up for this. So if you guys enjoy that, teams like it, then we might do this a bit more often in the future and sprinkle the occasional amateur tournament in just for fun. Because it's been pretty cool to just see lots of teams sign up and everybody just like trying to play here. So yeah, very happy about that. Vala is what we're getting first. That already, I like this because it has so many options as a draft. You can play Uther as a main tank, get the second tank as a second support in, and then play Vala as your hyper carry with an auto attack style. You can also just get a second damage dealer in, play Uther as your only healer, and then all of a sudden Vala is either willing to die a few times or she goes into a different build. But this is a very flexible opening for Surge Energy now. On the other side we have Junkrat, Anduin, and Stitches. And this is already getting a bit annoying because if you have Stitches with a good hook and Gorge, and Anduin can not only drop a light bomb to stun out the Gorge target, but he can also pull Stitches even farther away. So you get a hook, a pull, and it's basically the budget kidnap combo that you can execute with Medivh in his portals. That's kind of what we're seeing here. And that, I think, is the reason why Medivh is getting banned. Because they're looking at this and they're like, okay, this already sucks. If now they're coming in, they're also putting a portal out, and Stitches is just going to get a hook Gorge, and every single time the target is finding themselves in the middle of nowhere. So, yeah, in the dead zone. Like, the best combo that you can actually do, I believe, is, if I'm not mistaken, what you can technically do is you go Stitches with a hook, Gorge, Anduin with a pull, and then you have Falstad with a gust, and technically you could also throw in Stukov with a shove. So you can technically get a target essentially from one side of the map on the other. I don't think that it has... I think it has been actually tried by one team in years ago in a match where they knew, okay, we are the better team, and they just like bullied people around with this. It's kind of funny. If you play a quick match with a couple of buddies and you want to try something a bit new, then maybe try that. It's very funny. So Medivh, Anduin, Stukov, Falstad, you can really isolate a target. Blaze and Ubarak on the other side, there's a lot of stuns. Blaze and Ubarak, I mean, that already answers our questions whether or not Uther is going to be the main tank. He's not, but they still might decide to drop a second support in. But then Vala would really have to deliver if they want to do that. You can do it, but Vala needs to be on top of her game then. What? Diablo and Leo. Somebody wants a front line. Okay, my friend. Interesting. Yeah, Stitches and Diablo can now go for a few more aggressive builds, I guess. They need to put some damage out too. They can't only rely on Junkrat now. But that is a front line that you won't be able to break through all that easily. Vala, on the other hand, is going to get a lot of Manticore value. There's Hanzo, so he's the final pick. And with that, we're heading into game number 1 of the winners match, everybody. Khaldor's Underdog Cup is underway. Map number 1. The first map, and already some spicy drafts in the series. Now, over on the left side, we have Diablo with Devil's Due on level 1, played by Simply. Kani is playing Stitches. Patra Creation is in. We got White Tiger on Junkrat. Anduin by McGiblets. And then Kratodel with Leoric. Over on the right side, as expected, Creed of the Hunter for Vala. There was a time when this was the worst talent that you could possibly take with Vala, and then they finally started to rework things a little bit, and now it's one of their main played builds on her. We got Nolo Parker on Hanzo. Leapi is playing Uther. Dion on Blaze. And Bye Bye is playing Andubarak. So, now, this one played out. We have no fight in the middle. It was a little bit sad, actually. Everybody got already fully geared up and was thinking, okay, this is going to be the first big battle of the game. We gotta get ready. We gotta make this happen. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, yeah, well, sorry, but everybody just moved to a different lane and nobody wants to give you that fight. For good reason, too. You don't want to give Vala any stacks. Any kind of brawling where you're not fighting for an actual purpose is currently bad for the blue team. They don't want that. Simply because they are saying, okay, why would we give Vala free stacks? Makes no sense. We're gonna starve her from any fight. We're just gonna engage into battles that actually mean something, where we have to do something, where something's on the line. Anything else is just giving her more damage in the later stages of the game, and there's just simply no reason to do that. So I already like this. The problem is that at some point you will have to fight if your opponent is getting aggressive, and this is exactly what the red team is now doing. They're starting to move in to try and steal this away. But, well, Hanzo is already jumping out. Vala is escaping too. She got a few hits together and is now trying to work in more of those auto attacks. Yeah, but the camp is still taken by the blue team. So they decided it was absolutely worth fighting here. They went in and said, okay, got this. But, yeah, not too much. There's always the question, like, how many stacks can you actually get with Vala here? And how many times do you die? Obviously, when you go for the Gambit quest, you want to keep that auto-attack speed. Specifically here, where you are up against 3 frontliners, and a lot of them are big boys. Big and chunky boys that you can absolutely demolish when you have auto-attack speed plus Manticore. The hook over here doesn't need to do too much for them. Leo is now sitting in the middle. Has gone for Sacrificial Soul as his level 4 talent. Leo also now with Ghastly Reach, so he's just trying to go for a lot of control during the fights. Vala with... they're actually invading. I mean, again, you won't be able to easily take down that front line right now. That's the big problem. That is a beefy setup. But they steal the camp away. That's 2 of the pumpkin camps that they now have. But they're also getting chased, and this is giving Vala opportunities to finally get some auto attacks in. And that's exactly what she does. So she works them in against Leoric, she works them in against the rest of the team. Everybody of them is still alive, so they got something out of it, but losing the pumpkin camp is obviously not great. It's not something where you're like, okay, this is furthering our gameplay in any way, shape, or form. So I'm not really all that amazing. The altars are spawning, and that's going to be the next one here. So with the altars coming through, no chance for that now. Top side, top left, top right, we're going to get the exchange between Leoric and between Blaze, but it's the triple altar, the third one, that really matters the most. And this is where, right now, we're just seeing some interrupts from Junkrat, who's obviously happy to throw out grenades here to interrupt whoever is starting the channel. But Vala might actually get this one now. Nobody's... Diablo is trying to come in. I think he's too late, yeah. Diablo is too late. So that's the second altar out of the 3 channeled by the red team. Surge Energy is taking a small lead on the objective. This is a map that all centers around the late game, the momentum that you can build up until then. So I don't really see this going badly this early for them. It's all about the late game. And losing one altar, not really the biggest problem here. obviously. But okay, for now, what we're getting is just everybody trying to get ready for the next fight. Everybody else trying to make a little bit of a move around the objective, looking at kills in. One team is trying to fight and brawl a bit so that Vala can start to get her stacks. The other team is attempting as best as they can to deny them to her. So they're gonna attempt to only fight when it really matters. So far they've been doing a decent job on this, but still have to see if they can maintain that throughout the game and what Valeera eventually ends up with. Kills against her would also go a long way for the KDA agents, so that's obviously the next issue or the next problem that they have to work around here. So yeah, that's one more. But as it stands right now, everybody is just trying. I think the blue team is probably just waiting for level 10 abilities in the first place. A lot of what they are trying to do here is obviously just clearly centering around the idea of getting hooks and getting Gorge in. So if they can do that, then they will have a much easier game. And this will be a big part of it. So 2 more levels for them. On the other side, Valeera on 29 stacks. It's not insane. I mean, she's getting a few hits in, but it's nothing too crazy. Diablo gets saved by Anduin. Once he has a level 16 talent and turns into the pull-out king, he's obviously going to be even more valuable to the team and can save that front line if there is ever a need for it. So that's another one. But already the channel is happening down here at the bottom of the map, and it gets it through! Yeah, nice double altar spawn. They get one easily, sneak it in before Uther can get the Indra. Awesome. Good stuff. Blaze is now trying to do the same here in the middle. Leo hasn't even joined, he's just sitting top. So Blaze is grabbing it, which means it's a 1-1 exchange. No problems here. Nobody really pulling too far ahead. But the team fight is still on. And again, one guy is currently missing. Let's not forget about that. One guy currently not here to chip in on all of this. Leo is in the middle, Blaze has rotated over to help him out too, and Valeera is getting closer and closer to actually grabbing her first quest reward. But here are the level 10 abilities. Gorge is now in, we got the Entomb, we got Apocalypse, Light Bomb as well. So this is where things are really getting spicy. Now that Gorge is a move, that is where they need to try and make their plays. Gorge against Valeera, that needs to be killed. Light Bomb is out. She tries to get away. Oh, good move from Uther. Uther saving the day here. And then that happens. I mean, Uther did everything right at the beginning. But yeah, then the Light Bomb. He doesn't have his Divine Shield yet, so he can't actually protect her. That was nasty. I really thought they could save her. Arrow comes out. Diablo, he gets cocooned. They're trying to go for Stitches. Big hit points. And they don't have Valeera right now. Valeera died, so that's 5% of the attack speed gone, and a lot of the damage is gone through that. Uther gets isolated on the other side, uses Divine Shield. He thinks he can go through the wall. I don't think so. That was a big waste. They lose Anubarak and they lose Uther. And everything started with this kill right here. Light Bomb Gorge, Valeera gets cleansed out, and then bam, blown up with a Riptire. Junkrat, by the way, also just killed Hanzo. So that's 4 kills to 0 all of a sudden. And huge plays from the KDA agents. I mean, really nice plays for them now that will make it much easier for them to get momentum in the game and pull a little farther ahead here. So right now, they are doing great, and they're also trying to take a couple of the structures apart, of course. 13 is another big talent for Stitches, just simply because the hook range increases, and it's going to make things more dangerous for Surge Energy. Valeera, when it comes to damage, she's actually behind Hanzo now. Only 9,000 damage, not a whole lot. Then again, you look over to Stitches, he's the second highest damage dealer for the blue team now. I mean, somebody has to be, right? So he is the number 2 for them, as things currently stand. Blaze taking a camp at the top, and down here, they're still hoping for that one hit. They're still hoping for another connect. Stitches now has the hook range, uses it, but can't connect it quite right. It is a 1-level lead now, though. And we have 28 to 28 points on the core, so they are absolutely even here at this point. Junkrat hasn't even made a choice yet. So, yeah, that's one that he still has to make. Still needs to decide what he wants to take here on level 13. with the camps being up. There's obviously another target potentially for the blue team. I actually expected them to just like YOLO a few hooks in there. Try and get the Gorge and then move out. It's a little bit... The only thing that surprises me slightly is that they haven't actually committed to Falstad as well. Because Falstad would have given them another gust. But there's already the pull out of the stun, and that's exactly what they're aiming for. Apocalypse, Riptire. Damn, arrow flies out. The bunker is there. Blaze, jet propulsions out of the fight. Makes it out, actually. Great for them that they already had the wall mostly opened up, but this battle isn't over. There's still a lot of damage coming in with the grenades that Junkrat is throwing out. And the red team has to actually retreat with the altar at the bottom now being channeled by Leoric. And that's another 4 shots fired against Surge Energy. So, some really nice moves. But with 4 kills to 0, it is still the KD8 agents that now take the lead not only in experience, but also start pulling ahead further and further when it comes to the actual game. I mean, they are ahead in points on the core right now. Here comes another quick hook. They're getting a couple of those out. And Anubarak gets killed. There's a lot of displacement here. I mean, I'm talking a lot about Stitches, but there's obviously also all of the mines that we're seeing from Junkrat. They're playing a big role in this one as well. So that's another huge factor. Can bounce around people fairly easily. Both teams are now on 13. I mean, good news is that we might still see with Manticore a change because there's so many targets for Vala. But they go for Uther now. Instant Divine Shield for him. Doesn't even hesitate. Just right away. Okay, Divine Shield is in. I'm going to be safe. And we're going to be fine here. But they are struggling. There's more than a level that they're now behind. And of course, another... I mean, look at the experience alone. Like, look at the Mercenary experience. They are tripling it. So they have way more. Big hook here. Gorge wasn't ready though, so that's a problem. Arrow completely misses. I mean, he just weaved it through the middle of the opponent's team. Felt a little bit sorry for him there, but yeah, unfortunately there was not a connect. And still not a single kill for Surge Energy. Now 16 is in. Anduin turns into the pullout king with a double on his D. And we got also Pulverize for Stitches, which is of course another big play. So, yeah, with the triple altar phase up and you being one talent behind, this is not good for the red team. They're having a problem here and they know it. They have Hanzo now at the top trying to take one of the altars. Blaze interrupts Leoric. That's what he's attempting to do at least. So they're kind of aiming for a double altar at the top. But we already have Leoric helping out, sorry, Diablo helping out here too. So there's interrupts everywhere at this point. Down at the bottom of the map though, huge fight as well. Light Bomb is out. Still, Vala is getting more and more auto attacks now connected. That's great for her damage. Top right has been channeled. Diablo is taking the top left. And down at the bottom of the map, they're locking Anubarak down for a second. Vala trying to push them back, but also has to be careful. If the hook is ready, she's getting pushed into a corner right now. That arrow does nothing, and Vala should be dead here. Great Entomb, waited for the vault. They lose Junkrat as well, but honestly, this is not the same. One hero loses Gambit stack value, the other one doesn't. Now they're even getting Anubarak, and they're taking Hanzo. Uther is also in dire straits, doesn't even have the mana to do anything here. So, yep, that is another 4 kills. 9 kills to 1 now. And that is putting the blue team into a fantastic spot. Then, do they not realize that there is still an altar? Or do they think that they can take the pumpkin camp and take the bell tower first? Maybe they think that, but normally you would not have enough time for that. So, seems like they're going to try and take it. Yep, Anduin is now going back towards the altar, so they're trying to take this down. Pumpkins come in, they claim it. Red team isn't ready, so timing works out for them. That's 5 shots fired now. 5-3. They drop them down to 15 points on the core. Vala has now, of course, died twice, which means 10% of the attack speed is gone. And that will make things more tricky in the late game. But they have Manticore now. Manticore was always the one thing that they really needed for Vala so that she can dish out the damage properly against that triple front line. And it is a massive front line. I mean, it definitely is. So if Vala is able to kill anyone here and bully them, then now is the time. Manticore is going to be the game changer for her. She's at 19,000 damage. This is nothing to write home about. But she should have a chance to really boost those numbers. 3 shots still connect with the core, drop it down to 12 now. So 12 points on that. And yeah, blue team just getting camp after camp, exploiting the positions they're in. And of course also trying to get closer to level 20 talents. We're just going to help them even further to establish control here. And it should be a decent window of opportunity once that they hit it, because that's a 2-level gap between them now. That's huge. So top side, towns are slowly being taken out here. Down at the bottom of the map, Stitches is the only one that is currently sitting there, but basically all that, there's nothing that can really threaten him right now, and all that he wants to do is try and make sure that they're not going for the bell tower immediately to trying to take it back. Hanzo YOLOs out a couple of arrows every now and then, but so far they haven't really had an impact. Either they're missing, or even if they're connecting, I think they're just like painting those scenarios in their head where they think, okay, if it hits like this and we follow up, then we can get a kill here. But none of that has really materialized yet. So they are struggling to get good value out of this. This is an easy exchange that will drop the red team also into the single digits, which is obviously a huge issue. 7 points to 21 now. And that means 1 pumpkin camp and a boss, and the game's over. So at this point, pumpkins are spawning. They could play around this. They have level 20 talents, which is also big, of course. Stitches with Master Hooker, and they're gonna go for the pumpkins. They are pushing topside instead, so the idea here is, hey, let's just get some bell tower control ourselves so that we have a chance. But it's gonna be a tall order if you are not stopping those pumpkins. If those pumpkins are not being stopped, then you can technically just go for boss, specifically if you're killing Blaze here. Blaze is dead. If the pumpkins make it through, they can go for the boss and end the game. Yep, there it is. All 3 connect. They're going to be down to 4 points now. Boss ends the game. They have a level 20 advantage, and they have a 5 versus 4. There is 0 reason to not go for the boss to end the game now. Absolutely not. If you get more kills, I mean, even better. Don't get me wrong. And Nuburak is already in trouble, is trying to get out. Hanzo, how did Hanzo get soloed pretty much by Leo? Yeah, that's game. That is absolutely game. Unless they're going full throw city right now, this one's over. So, great performance in game number 1 of the series by the KDA agents. We are in the winner's match of Group A, and it seems like they will take the lead here unless something insane happens now. They're trying everything, but they miss out on it. Boss is taken, Stitches dies, it doesn't matter anymore. Vala gets also dropped, so does the core, and that's a 1-0 lead. The KDA win. The KD agents win Towers of Doom.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Aldrich Pass, second map in the series, everybody. We got the KD agents. I think I've been calling them the... have I been calling them the KDA agents? KD agents? Anyways, KDA has been doing well. Worked crazy well for them to have Stitches plus Diablo on the last map. Surge Energy just couldn't break through there. They just couldn't get the damage. And now, quick reminder, we have currently a rule in the tournament that you can't play a hero more than once. Oh, sorry, a hero cannot be played more than once. Doesn't matter which team. So the 10 heroes that you saw on the last map cannot be played again. Aldrich Pass, pretty big. Samuro gets banned. And Nuburak has obviously already been played. So that means most of the viable options that can sneak a prisoner camp on Aldrich Pass are now gone. The whole idea is that you just move in with a single hero, you spawn a couple of beetles, a couple of mirror images, and you distract the grunts and you get the channel, and you can just do it by yourself. You can technically do it with Gazlo, for example, too, but I highly doubt that we're going to see Gazlo there. Might at some point appear, but I don't think it's going to be a thing in this game. Hogger gets banned, Falsat is out, so when it comes to global play, you could still use the Haka. That's an option. Since this is the winner's match, if the blue team wins, they are the first team to make it to the bracket phase. Quick reminder, 8 teams in total, split into 2 groups. Only 2 teams make it out of the group, and then they play a bracket double elimination system for the winner of the tournament. Sonya as a first pick. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a preference pick right there. Now, for the blue team. the KD agents have actually been doing really well on a micro, on a macro level. There were so many good comps that, and just like the execution of some of the plays that they had, it's fun. I like it. They are currently probably one of my favorites to make it out of first place in the group, and we've already talked about this when they played their first series. Currently, of course, they are in the lead here, but I want to see what happens when the best teams out of the two groups clash. Now, things could go horribly wrong here, but right now I think it's fair to say that the blue team is the favorite. ETC and Stukov. Okay, so we got ETC and Stukov in the house now for Surge Energy. Sylvanas for the blue team, which means they already have some push power in. And what are we going to get for that front line? Them picking 2 tanks also means that both of those tanks are now unavailable. So you can't play Diablo anymore, you can't play Stitches anymore, and the Nubarak is out as well. Now, this is only the second map in the best of 3 series, so it's not that big of a problem. You still have obviously tons of tanks to pick from. Jojo, Murden, both up if you want to go for the more vanilla choices here. Garrosh has been banned, so he is not an option, but you're not going to run out of tanks anytime soon here. That might happen occasionally in the best of 7 or in the best of 5, depending on what's being played. But the danger of it happening here, slim to none. Jojo gets banned too, so they're kind of forcing them over to potentially Murden. Murden would definitely be a choice. Has Skullcracker against Jojo's Whirlwind, has interrupts against Stukov, against ETC, so survivability is there too. You could definitely play him here. Then jump in, get your Stormbolts going, so not a bad choice. But again, there's still plenty of heroes up that you could take instead. There he is though. And we get D.Va! Okay, we are getting D.Va as the side laner for them. Still curious what White Tiger picks. By the way, also, quick reminder, they have actually some North American players here. They're playing cross-server. Yep, you can even sign up here with NA players. So, Kani and I believe it was Giblets that are from NA. There's apparently like several teams that have a few NA players in their midst. But over on the right side now, with All Direct Pass, how is Surge Energy going to bring this back? They are... Oh, ho, ho, ho. That is a bold choice. Valeera? Now, if you're a little bit newer to the game, Valeera sucks. She is horrible. I think Valeera is one of the few heroes that even when we put bounties up on playing heroes, she very rarely gets actually picked, and her win rate is abysmal. It is so bad. So them going for Valeera, that is quite the statement. Somebody is extremely confident in their abilities to pull this off. Thrall as the triple front line for the agents. Guys, let's see. Can Valeera actually pull this off? I have my doubts, but if they could, that would be amazing. All Direct Pass, map number 2 in the winners match between the KD Agents and Surge Energy. And we're off to the races. It is match point, the chance for the blue team to take this match and therefore also win the group. Now, Murden gets played by Simply. We got White Tiger on Thrall, Kani on Sylvanas, we have McGiblets on Rhaegar, and Kratodel on D.Va for the blue team. Over on the right side, this is where things are getting a little bit more fancy. We have Nolopaka with Crippling Poison playing Valeera. Not something I thought I'd see today or in this tournament. Bye-bye on ETC, Leapy on Greymane. Dion is playing Stukov with Reactive Ballista Spores on level 1, and then we have Atella on Sonya, ready to slam away here. So, let's see who takes it. The attempt to use Sylvanas right at the beginning of the game to take one of the towers down a notch already failed. Good reaction that we saw from the team in red there. So they split their own forces a little bit on the lanes, made sure that they're not just running straight into the middle and allow them an easy opportunity to take this one on. So, yeah, job well done. Now, all the way up at the top, of course, that's where the party continues with Sylvanas and Thrall currently holding the line for the blue team. But it should be a wild game. I mean, Valeera in particular is something that you don't see all that often. If they really feel that they have a composition around this that can make it work, then hey, be my guest. I'm absolutely here for it, and I want to see if it works out for them. Down at the bottom of the map now, we have Murden just jumping around a little bit and doing his thing. But it's going to be a wild game. It's going to be a good game. Now, quick reminder, everybody, if you want to play in tournaments like this yourself, if you want to play in an environment that's a little bit more competitive and just more fun than just playing in Hero League, you can go to HeroesLounge.gg. You can sign up as an individual player, or you can sign up as a team. But it is honestly how Heroes of the Storm is supposed to be played. Muradin going down here. So you see some of the coordination already. It doesn't really matter if you're on Masters, if you're Grandmaster, or if you're Bronze. They have multiple divisions where everybody just fits in. They have a fantastic Discord with a very active community as well. So just check out the website, browse a little bit through it, sign up if you want to. If you have questions, you can go to the Discord and ask them there. And as I've already said, we even have NA players here. So you will have to be okay playing cross-server, but it's definitely possible for also NA players to join the fun here. So if you haven't checked them out yet, make sure that you do. HeroesLounge.gg is the address, and yeah, maybe we'll see you in one of these tournaments as well. Currently what we're seeing is the blue team losing one of their heroes, but then immediately responding with some nice aggression as well, and getting the kill against not only Greymane, but now also Valeera, who has been taken out at the top by Sylvanas alone. Sylvanas a little bit low and will have to hearth, but in the middle I think we're going to get another kill. And yep, Sonya indeed goes down. So Sonya has now been obliterated as well. That's another kill for them. And that's 4 kills to 1. Very early in the game already. So Valeera really has to start pulling her weight a little bit if they want to have a chance there. Because if the blue team now pulls too far ahead in experience, then this is definitely going to be bad news as the game continues. So it's going to potentially be a little bit tough for them. But yeah, we'll see. My Tiger is currently just like getting away here. Top side. Sylvanas has to be careful. She doesn't know that Sonya... Ah, okay. No. Sonya... I don't know if Sonya actually showed for a second there, but she decided that she doesn't want to try and set up a trap. Thrall with good connects on his level 4, so he's already on 5 stacks, which means that only one more connect and he'll be ready to with his crest. So that would be quite nice. Can then get a synergy later if he wants to with Alpha Wolf. Always an option. And they're going for the objective early. I mean, 7 just kicked in. And they're immediately ready for it. So that gives us Skullcracker, for example, for Muradin. We have on level 7 also the Ancestral Wrath. Thrall also with the connect on ETC. So that means 3 minutes and 50 seconds in roughly, he gets his quest completed. They are going for it. I mean, guys, they're about to get the objective. And they've already done damage to the wall in the middle. So they're looking great here. I mean, they really do. If they lock it in, cavalry is theirs. They have it. They got the cavalry. Great move, and that should give them a lead in structures, especially if they can get kills like this one. They go for Sonya, and they take her down. Sonya is gone. All of that with like D.Va chipping in as well here. They are looking fantastic. KD agents, they... Whew. Honestly... They look just a little bit ahead. Why are these guys not in Division 1? 13,000 damage for Thrall. We got 11,000 for Greymane. Yep. Valeera is all alone at the top. Not really the position where you would normally expect to see her. I really thought she would just go hunting for heroes together with ETC, for example, and Stukov. Like slides, lurking arm, Valeera coming in, but yeah, none of that. Instead, what we're seeing are walls getting destroyed all over the place. Down at the bot lane, the blue team is already breaking through the wall here and has pushed Greymane back. They wanted the kill too. They rotated with everyone down there. The team coordinated it well though. I mean, they clearly told him, dude, you gotta get out of here. This is not looking good for you. If you don't move out right now, then you are just toast. So in this case, it all worked out quite nicely. Greymane did not get killed, but yeah, this could have been a small problem if he didn't immediately go for the heart here. He was already low to begin with, so obviously played a role as well. But currently, it's just camp after camp that gets taken. Both of them are just disciplined around it. I mean, you look over to the red team side and we are seeing the same thing with Sonya making the play here. So yeah, she doesn't have any issues with that either. Top side, Valeera just getting out, but the issue is still that one team already has the heroic abilities. So now we'll look at both. We have Leap and we have also Stage Dive. Leap, stage dive for the red team, and then we got the smoke bomb for Valeera. So they have some global potential now all of a sudden as well. So another option for them. Yeah, it will be interesting to see how they're going to try and use this. If you go leap, stage dive on a target. Yeah, there's already leap. Okay, can they get a kill with it? Sundering comes out, trying to protect them. Nice Ancestral on Sylvanas, and they turn it on ETC, and he falls. ETC! He's gone. No chance. 6 kills to 1, and with another quick hit, they're going for Sonya again, and she doesn't make it either. Thrall, to be fair, dies too, but they're immediately trying to turn it on the rest of the team, and specifically Valeera is on the menu. Nice explosion attempt here by D.Va. This was actually a pretty sweet move to try and drop her, but Valeera got out, so she's able to escape. Another quick jump as ETC comes back in. Alright, and Rhaegar gets murdered. Rhaegar goes down, no chance for him. So at least there are a couple of counter kills. There's a few kills that they are able to get here. And they immediately want to try and use that momentum that they just gained to get themselves an objective. The second camp is now up, so this is why they're currently making their moves, and they're actually getting the lead on it. Question is, can the blue team do something about it? Currently doesn't look like it. Thrall is getting low and he needs to get out of here. So he's already in huge trouble. Big Shove is coming out too. Thrall with the Sundering is mega low, but it's Valeera that falls. Super close, but she's the one that dies. Everybody else has to jump back out, and the blue team is able to save the objective, at least for now. So nice little action that we got there. On the damage numbers, we now have Greymane for the red team in the pole position with 23,000, 22,000, actually in the entire game, because Thrall, while he has some decent damage, is not able to surpass him yet. He's sitting at 22, 23,000 himself. Yeah, down at the bottom of the map, still Sylvanas now slowly starting to push. This is obviously going to be also pretty important later. Once the death timers increase, Sylvanas' ability to just shut down some structures is going to be pretty important. Middle of the map. Yeah. 13 to 13 now. Very close still. Valeera is going for Strangle. So, they are trying to get those kills now. They're pushing them back. Greymane up at the front. Sylvanas slowly moving towards the top. Camp is still active in the middle. Could actually take down that fort. Will take down that fort if nobody deals with it. But instead, we're getting the push towards the top, and it is Stukov that dies. Wailing Arrow coming out too, but was a little bit too late. And thanks to that, ETC can actually jump out. There was no stun available anymore. Skullcracker connect from Murden would have been amazing there. That would have shut down ETC right away and resulted in another kill. But they get him anyways. They get him anyways. Right there, that's the end of ETC. He actually escaped the gank against him. And then, yeah, he loses his life just a moment later. And now, of course, they go for the objective once more. Yeah, it's a bit of a wild one. It's a really interesting game that we're arcading here. The fort in the middle is very likely going to be the first one to fall. Yeah, D.Va's coming straight back in. They are all playing around. Oh, nice move against D.Va here. They take the mech down for a moment. She's already back up on it, and I guess the objective is now going to be locked in. Nobody is coming in for an interrupt. It's already too late. That's the second set of the cavalry that they're getting. Also detecting a bit of a theme here. This is the second time now that we're seeing the KD agents on this map, so it seems like this is a priority pick for them. 12 stacks on the Wizened Duelist for Greymane. At the bottom of the map, yeah, Kani still sitting tight. I love how they are always like playing this safe and they don't know what's going on. Several heroes disappear from the map. Sylvanas is just moving back, is playing the safe, slow, and just said, yeah, I don't need to move out here immediately. Really nice attempt by Stukov to shut down the wave and allow Greymane the kill, but he wasn't able to complete it. But for Sylvanas, this was great. She could have died there, and it didn't happen because she played it carefully. Now Murden gets the kill against Sonya. Skullcracker value right there. And Lopaka, or no Lopaka, dies too. They're trying to go for bye-bye. It's a triple. It's a triple, baby. Big kill, and it's going to also help them to obliterate the fort. That's the second fort that falls. The only one that is still standing is down at the bottom of the map, so this one they haven't been able to take out yet. But it definitely got close. Yeah, so... Tough times, honestly, for the team right now in red. They're losing a bit more at the top, and they're losing way more than I actually expected here. Just look at that. I expected them to lose the wall. I didn't realize they already are losing hit points that massively on the keep itself. That would be the first armor shield that's gone from the core. That would definitely not be a good look for them. They're behind in talent, of course, but what's more important, they're down 10 kills! 10 kills behind at this, at this point. 30,000 damage for Greymane, and with all of the forts gone, that already helps too. They know where Valeera is. They know where ETC is and the rest of the team, so they're going for the boss down here. They have decent vision. Need to hurry this a bit. There's still a chance that the rotation is happening, but currently the red team is absolutely oblivious. They barely get their level 16 talent, so now they could technically try and engage in an actual battle. But right now, yeah, that boss at the bottom, they move through the middle, try and take the wave out. Could go for a double boss play and go towards the top. There's no reason not to. They have enough vision at the bottom of the map, and what's going to happen? ETC is going to jump in with a stage dive. That would instantly result in him dying. Oh, but ETC actually gets stunned out from this one as well. So Muradin is already taking the wave out a little bit. He went into the Bronzebeard Rage over here, so he's trying to take those waves out slowly, while the rest of the team is going for... yeah, boss number 2. And the thing is, with that big golem, they would be guaranteed to take the keep at the top out. The red team is rotating, though. Red team is rotating in. Stormbolt misses, but they're just a few seconds too late. If they make the rotation a couple of seconds earlier, they have an opportunity here. But that doesn't happen. And now, of course, the top side keep is 100% gone. I actually don't... They're not even going to fight here, I think. I think they're just going to make sure that nobody engages it early, but they're not going to get the core here. D.Va is trying to go for the next objective. This is where they should focus their energy. Even the red team doesn't need to do a whole lot here. The core can defend this by itself, and they won't be able to save the keep, so it's absolutely pointless to do anything about it. Instead, they should save the objective. Taking this one out doesn't help you. Core defends itself. You need to make sure that your keep in the middle doesn't take too much damage, and you need to try and prevent the objective from being grabbed. The blue team is on 19.5. They're not going to be too willing to engage into a big team fight without having that level 20 advantage. So they can still grab that for now. The problem is what happens once that they have their level 20 talents, because then obviously the situation changes dramatically for them. Then they're going to be in a spot where they're saying like, yeah, now we are very, very happy to fight you. So this is why the red team is pushing this for the objective now. They know fully well that this is one of their best opportunities to actually still grab this. But tough. The problem for the blue team is honestly that all of the minion waves are so far away now that it's hard for them to get experience. They get the trickle-in experience, of course, but they can't just send somebody on the completely opposite side of the map just to simply get a minion wave. So, yeah. So they have to fight this. They poke, but there's the 20, and now they can actually fight for it. Sundering connects with 2, but Thrall gets jumped on and eliminated. The problem is that Stukov gets also destroyed. Surge Energy, therefore, has no healer. That's the end of Greymane. ETC is not looking too great. Same for Sonya, who eats the Stormbolt from Muradin, so she's gone. That's a triple kill. They don't even have to go for the objective. Honestly, at this point, if you're the blue team, go into the middle, take the keep out and wait and win the game. I have no idea why they're going for this. Okay, Muradin has jumped on and is trying to claim it, but this makes zero sense. They can end the game right here, right now. ETC is the only one. There's no way for him to defend this. With 2 armor shields gone, this is where you win the game. Going for the objective too, I mean, fair enough. If you think you need it, be my guest. But this needs to be the end of this series. And if the KD agents take it, then they are the first team to make it into the bracket phase. They would be the winners of Group A, and it's certainly looking darn good. So, yep. So far, so good. They just need to auto-attack that sucker. And for some reason, they don't do it. Alright, there we go. All the way up at the front. That's game. 2-0 victory for the KD Agents. Surge Energy drops into the consolation match. They still have a chance, but it's the blue team that is the first one to move out of the group. GG.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.